Something will make it.
Sick! Send the chicks out.
Remember to engage the rail.
You keep falling down, I keep pushing you out and wish you were gone. You keep falling down, I keep pushing you out and wish you were gone.
Did you see that?
Get out there, I reckon.
If you ever talk to me,
Brings back good memories.
Hi, my name's Serena Brooke. I'm a professional surfer. I am 45 years old and I did the World Championship Tour for 15 years.
Serena Brooke, aka Sauce, the 45-year-old mother of two, a former world #1, a two-time world title runner-up, the queen of the frontside layback, and surf industry darling.
She's doing surf camp, she's doing modeling.
She's free surfing all over the world, dude.
Sauce was one of the most popular competitors on tour, bringing as much energy to her heats as she did the after party.
Yeah, I was in the top 5 for about 3 or 4 years in a row and I got second twice to Lane. She remembers results that I don't even remember. She'll be like, remember that heat? And you beat me in that heat. And I'm like, you beat me a million times. I don't even know the heat you're talking about.
I'm sorry, Serena. Why am I saying sorry? I'm not sorry that I beat you in 1998, and I'm not sorry that I beat you again in 1999.
In perspective, I think that I just didn't let it get to me too much, that I didn't get the #1 spot. If I won the world title, I won it, and if I didn't, then that was okay too, because at the end of the day, it doesn't define you as a person.
Sauce is great. Sauce is just a good time.
Saucy is very saucy. She was a little rat back in the day.
The nickname Sauce came from my first year on tour. I was like, oh, what's that? Some weird, sexual thing, or you're all saucy or something. I'm like, no, it's literally from putting tomato sauce on white bread and eating it.
Just put ketchup on everything.
Sauce, she's a good human. Taught me a lot of things. It wasn't her OCD.
No, Scarlett, I don't want wax all over the carpet. Can you not mash it into the carpet, please? No, not up there, not on the nose. Oh my God.
Don't leave your stuff laying around, Chels. You got to tidy up. Yeah, always frothing to go surfing as long as it was after 9 o'clock.
She's simmered down since then, but let's see if Sauce can bring the heat to her rivals campaign.
The other girls have all shot theirs for Australia, so I'm the last one remaining. It's a bit nerve-wracking because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to have to work with, but I hope that I get something decent.
Previously on Rivals, we've seen the Great Lane Beach League battle the crowds at Freshwater. Kate Wilkins put her backside attack to work at Angowrie. Sam Cornish made lemonade out of lemons at Crescent Head, and Chelsea Hedges rolled the dice in solid conditions at her local beach break. Let's see where Serena's at.
I think we're all in different levels now. We're all busy. We've all got different things going on in our lives. I've got my kids, I've got 8-year-old twins. Probably some of us are getting in the water a lot more than others. It's just throwing your hat in the ring and having some fun and seeing how you go, and hopefully not looking like too much of a kook because it's so unfit. So I'd love to get pumping tea tree or boiling pot. That would be amazing. If the swell charts work and the weather systems and it all lines up, it would be amazing to surf tea tree or nationals.
I feel like Noosa only breaks really well, like a couple of times a year, so it's going to be touch and go for Saucy.
If Noosa is really kind of fat and not offering much lip to blast through, that might be tough. You're not going to win this thing on cutbacks.
It is a bit tricky on the sunny coast. It doesn't get as much swell as down here, so she could get skunked. Who knows? Sorry, Sauce.
It'll definitely make a big difference getting, pumping points in those waves as opposed to, sort of like a short closing out beach break. So if I can score that, it would be amazing. Fingers crossed, I need luck on my side.
Renowned for her stylish, well-rounded surfing, Serena showed she was much more than a pretty face, pushing the world's best to the limit during her time on tour. The recipient of plenty of industry support over the years, Sauce paid it forward to her competitors in the form of energy, enthusiasm, and plenty of good times.
I remember when I first saw her on the tour, I think it was in Newcastle, she was turning heads in the sense that she was a really powerful, graceful surfer, but wasn't just trying to get a bunch of, turns to the beach. It was she'd mix it up. She'd throw out a big rock and roll floater and bang the lip, You know, like I really liked that kind of surfing. And she had this really fun, charismatic character. And so I was drawn to her for that. Just before she came on tour, it felt like there wasn't as much of that lighthearted, you know, having fun, playful camaraderie on the tour. Everybody was really pretty fired up and feisty and competitive. And I think that when her and Keala and Megan came onto tour, and even with, you know, Kate Scarrett, it felt like all of a sudden we were gonna have a lot more fun.
She was just the life of the party. She's got lots of energy. She's really effervescent. She's really fun to hang around with.
Could write a book and people would be like, that didn't happen. Like, yes, it did, actually. I'm personally stoked that I grew up in those years. I had so many fun experiences and just learnt so much, so many life skills.
After the break, we learn more about Serena's time on tour and her transition into motherhood. After a decorated competitive career in which she won a Queensland Amateur title, the ASP Rookie of the Year award, and several World Championship Tour events, Source set sail with the backing of her sponsors and appeared in such seminal all-women surf films as Seven Girls. In 2001, she established the Serena Brooke Charity Foundation to raise money for child abuse prevention, Youth Centre's breast cancer research, and the Surfrider Foundation, before transitioning seamlessly into motherhood.
It's definitely not something easy to do because it's such a big part of your life. You've been doing it forever. So I feel like it takes about 2 years to just transition out of that and get some stability and grounded, like, okay, cool, this is life now. And you're always not just going to the next event and packing your bag and constantly on the move. That's what makes life fun, the change and evolution of it, you know, as a person.
Yeah, I think she's a really grounded human. Like, she's got a perspective that is pretty unique around, that inner happiness, and she's really grateful for her 2 little girls and just her life. So I feel like she's got a pretty good perspective on it all. She gave her all on tour and she did amazing, and yeah, it's a great accolade to be second in the world a couple of times, I reckon.
So we're at Snapper Rocks and we are surfing in the Usher Cup for Wind and Sea.
Good luck, mate. Good luck, Serena.
Thank you.
Smash it.
Thanks. I haven't competed in, I don't know, 9 or 10 years, a long time. And I'm competing against all the young Australian junior girls that I coach. So it's interesting after coaching them than surfing against them. So it's pretty funny. Club's going amazing at the moment. We've got Reef in the club and we've got so many good surfers in there. And I did all my very first competitive surfing that I ever did in my life when I was little club rounds and stuff when I was about 14. My very first contest that I ever did in my life were 4 Wind and Sea in club rounds, and that's sort of like they talked me into doing this and said, come on, we can go full circle and you can do your last heats for us. So it's really nice to actually go full circle and end up surfing for the club that I did my very first contest for.
Yeah, I think Serena will go well in the rival series. The men's one was awesome. My kids and I watched it all the time, and yeah, I think it's just good for the kids to see the ex-pro surfers and what they're about and what they're all doing now, and just shows that, you know, you can keep surfing into your 40s and 50s and keep ripping. Obviously, Serena, outside of Parko, who was a junior member of our club, was the highest achieving surfer ever to come out of Caloundra. So, yeah, it's awesome to see her back at the club again.
Born and bred on Queensland's picturesque and playful Sunshine Coast, that's exactly where Serena will be headed for her rivals heat.
The Sunshine Coast has got a lot to offer. There's really good beach breaks like Sunshine and Perigian, and there's other point breaks like Moffat's and Double Island Point. I don't know, I think if we can get really good tea tree or the pot at Nationals, it'd be pretty amazing. Do some top to bottom, big crank and turns.
After the break, we find out more about Serena's hometown and get ready for her heat.
I grew up in Mapleton, which is just about 45 minutes from the coast, and then I moved to Caloundra when I was 13 years old, right across the road from the beach, and started surfing at around 13 and a half years old. Being one of 6 girls, lots of punch-ups over clothes and boys and hairbrushes and whatever. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great little surf town. I joined Win and Sea. It was the first surf club that I joined when I was beginning to surf, and the first contest that I did were for Win and Sea. The guys were fantastic. They all supported me, and we didn't have enough girls to do girls' heats, so I would surf against Joel Parko in some of the heats when we were groms. So yeah, it was fun. It was a great upbringing. I was stoked to do that. I've got the kids all dialed in for the day because we're potentially going to surf my heat. So they've got trolls to paint, they've got scratch art, they've got some canvases. Scarlett's right into artwork. She draws just freehands like birds and stuff. She did that sparkly one over there this morning. So I've bought myself some time to try to get in the water. So let's pack them up. Come on, we've got to pack because I've got to get in the water. Painting, shirts, and you're all set. I'll put you in some chips and snacks as well. You all ready to go? Yeah. I've got a lot going on every day. It gets tough to just sort of fit everything in sometimes. There's no boredom moments. It's non-stop all the time. So, yeah, I've got a very busy life. Hey, Novella, out. Just don't hit my car, please. Get your shoes. They've got water bottles in here, tons of stuff for them to all paint and do. Okay, thank you so much. Kids gone. I haven't been in the water much at all, to be honest. It's been a real juggle. It's definitely a different life with kids going surfing as opposed to before kids. I mean, they're amazing, but you don't know what you used to do with your time and your life because now you're just doing 1,000 things a day. So, yeah, it's busy. I've got to make the call today for tomorrow, and so I've basically got to really study the maps, even though they keep changing. I'm going to go down there, just sit there, have a look, give it the best chance today, tide-wise, and just check it and see if there's potentially anything that's going to work. This is boiling pot out here, and we're going to have a look at tea tree and just see if it's worth surfing the heat or not. So we've got to kind of wait and see if it's worth it. Mention if there wasn't that friggin' east wind. Oh, second one. No one on it. That was the one there. Tea tree bigger? Definitely at least free surf. This was my first option, tea tree point out here. Gets a bit more wind though than the pot, so it sort of tea tree runs all the way down into Nationals and boiling pot. Usually got a bit more size. It's just looking the average at the moment. It's not really got the greatest banks. The weather systems seem really volatile at the moment, so they're not really producing what they're saying. They're changing a lot. So, yeah, it's been tricky to predict the right time, day, rain patch. Sort of the winds are changing and they end up being different to what they're saying as well. So I'm hoping it goes the other way. They're forecasting bad winds. I'm hoping that it is good winds. So, yeah, it's all sort of swirling around and it's just not as predictable at the moment because it's a bit of a volatile weather system that keeps changing daily. Yeah, it's really tricky. I'd hate to be a contest director trying to pick dates. It's not easy when you've got one day and you make the call and then the whole forecast just changes and you wake up and go, oh my God, what is this? It's not what they were predicting. I don't think my dream of getting the points firing is going to happen. I think it's going to be a beachy. Yeah, I had a little free surf at Nationals, but it was really lumpy and straight onshore and not very good. So didn't do the heat, but yeah, just had a warm up. But yeah, it's meant to be the exact same forecast for tomorrow as today. So, and then Tuesday still onshore, and then Wednesday morning possibly northwest, west, light winds. Unless it just changes again.
With light offshores and a nice east swell on the charts, Serena has called her heat on. Find out after the break how she goes. Due to unfavourable conditions, Serena's first choice, Noosa's famed points are out, replaced by dreamy 4-foot peaks on a pristine beach.
Oh, sunshine, yes. So rainy lately, it's been hectic. So I'm just happy to see some sun and some glassy waves out there. Gonna do it. It's on, it's now or never. Yeah, it's the very last day of the waiting period. Huey's looked after me, I can't believe it. Oh, what? Did you see that?
Here we are at Sunshine Beach on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, and it's looking pretty pumping, Vaughan. Serena Brooke is our surfer. She was looking to score the Noosa points, but it hasn't quite delivered. In its place, we've got some really clean beach break conditions, couple cones potentially, and plenty of sections ripe for the schwacky.
Well, I don't think Serena's going to be put off by surfing the beaches at all, Smithy. She grew up at Caloundra, and there's some primo little setups around there on the right swell, so she'll be chomping at the bit to get out here and give it some.
She'll have up-and-coming Australian talent Reef Hazelwood on the ski working as her eyes. Let's see what Serena's got. Oh, big end section hit there. Technical manoeuvre, unpredictable section, but just dutsed it.
Look how beautiful these conditions are, Smith. This is the stuff that makes you, dream of getting out there on a Sunday morning. And the Source, as she was known during her touring days, beautiful technique. One of the real challenges with Sunshine Coast surf, Smithy, is it just lacks that little bit of punch out of the lip. So you've got to be quite light-footed when you attack those vertical sections. One of my great claims to fame as a grommet was Serena Brooke would come down to my hometown a few hours down the coast, spend time with her friend Tanya Smith, and I would sometimes hang out, Smithy, and we'd listen to Ice-T and Body Count together.
You're kidding me? You got to listen to rap with Serena Sauce Brooke? What an honour. And it was good to see her take some of that Compton Ice-T energy onto the tour, Vaughan. She was a fearsome competitor, and she left a body count of victims in her wake as she sailed to victory in many a heat.
Yeah, she always had fantastic technique too. Beautiful off the top there, drops the back knee. That is trade book sauce.
She winds up on the backhand. Big vertical hit, but can't pull it.
And you can see here Serena just getting another turn off. Starting to find some rhythm now. Loads this one up and gets a big finish. Oh, gets absolutely KO, but look at the commitment off the lip there, Smithers.
Oh, wow, there was points in that, Vaughan, if she could stick it. That was a critical lip line hit.
Well, the other thing that Serena will be focused on during this Rivals Heat is that she knows who she's up against. So many of the competitors in this year's Rivals Series had so much venom for each other on that Women's World Tour throughout the 90s and early 2000s. And Serena will know that she's got Lane, she's got Chelsea, she's got Kate Wilkins. This is a really important one for her. She's got some great conditions, but she needs to start getting some runs on the board.
Yeah, you're dead right, Vaughan. You can see that the waves are just lacking that little bit of punch. And it's a bit of a mission to get that rhythm and that speed and just complete manoeuvres. It's standing up, but it just won't seem to comply after she's hit the section.
A touch of the Mark Richards on that last backhand waka, a beautiful little speed run out of the lip.
As she winds up, now on her front side, nice little float, that'll do.
Yeah, I love this, Smithy, right up and over the lip, and when you come down, even on the sunny coast, it's good to feel a bit of air under the fins, and you can see that she's feeling that one. Serena, one of the surfers who really took it to the reef breaks when those events started showing up on the women's tour, and but was always a standout in these sorts of beachy conditions. Great shot here from our cameraman. Look out!
Mother of two, sunny coast local, showing a bit of local knowledge out there. No respect for the locals though, that was a brutal fade. Oh my lord.
Goodness, well, have we seen a Rivals Heat where these absolute legends of Australian surfing haven't had to deal with some peanut? I'm really starting to like Serena's energy here, Smithy. I think she's putting herself well in contention for a big rivals win.
Solid performance in some shapely, though somewhat lacklustre conditions, Vaughan.
Yeah, a really strong effort though from Serena the Sauce Brooke. So fantastic to see her back on our screens. And as we always say, Smithy, great surfers, they just get better as they get older, mate.
Like a fine, fine wine.
Rivals heat's done. I've got mixed feelings about it. It was actually pretty hard work. Looked from the beach like it was just like these perfect lines, but then when you're out there, it was really tricky to get more than 2 turns done. Got a couple though, got a couple turns in, so yeah, we'll see. At least there's some waves and it's glassy and it's a hell of a lot better than what it's been for the last week.
Stay tuned next week when we head across the Pacific to the Hawaiian island of Kauai, home of the all-time great Rochelle Ballard.